and so people can.
Sorry about that. We're back, guys. Yeah, maybe that's why. I mean, settings.
All right, Neoplanet 59. Oliver, you're one of those guys that saves every replay.
Hey, you're gonna save it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Resolution downscale.
Yeah, I would turn it down to just 720 maybe.
Oh, well, it's at 1360 by 768 right now.
That's not that high. It really shouldn't be a problem.
I've never had a stream lag problem before. This is a first. I got the encoding up to 3000 kbs.
And what is your internet connection upstream?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that after this, but
Yeah.
I might want to check that.
Okay. It's
Okay, so
not very high. I got pretty much Bright House standard.
This next one is going to be a PVT.
PVT, Khan versus Tenkai. Gold, both. I love that everybody that is against our people is all using the same unit picture that I am from StarCrafters. Oh man, I love that show. That newest episode, the Mutalisk one against the Protoss, where the Mutalisk are just running around picking off probes, that made me laugh so hard because that's pretty much every game I play against Protoss.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh man, it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, or if you don't know what it is, go check it out on YouTube. StarCrafters. It's acknowledged by Blizzard, so they do a really good job, and they get a lot of.
Yeah, I've seen the show. I haven't had a chance to catch it. Yeah.
No, I'm talking to them, not you. Obviously, you know where it's at.
Yeah, it's very witty, this show.
It really is. It's very witty, and just the humor. I mean, if you play the game, even if you don't play the game, it's funny. Like my friend that doesn't play StarCraft thought it was hilarious. But if you do play the game, it's just hilarious. Like you're crying. I'm crying, laughing sometimes when I'm watching it.
Okay. Everything looks normal.
Yeah, we do have Khan, our
It's gonna do a gateway expand, I'm assuming, because he's a macro Protoss.
Gateway's almost done. Has the rally.
Oh, but he got eBay blocked, so he needs to get a Zealot. He needs to chrono out that Zealot the moment he sees the eBay block.
I noticed that on the engineering bay block. I don't see it too often. Actually, I never see it. But the best way to go about it is to cancel the SCV building it right now, and there, yeah, just like he did. That way you can cancel it and get the money back still.
Oh yeah, it's stupid to let it finish.
Yeah.
Don't let it finish. There's no point. All right, well, you haven't seen it yet, so you don't know. It's okay. I don't need to tell you yet.
Yeah, he doesn't know it's there yet. Kind of how late that SCV's coming up. To take
and he's chronoing out his Zealot anyway, so yeah. he's good.
Kind of how late that SCV came up to take a look probably should be a kind of indicator that he might have built something down there.
Yeah, but you got to be careful not to read too much into a lower level. I mean, check for it, but don't read too much into lower level play.
Yeah, don't
because
freak out all of a sudden.
At the time, he's there now because he forgot, or something else random like that. Like you can see over in Terran's base, the SCV's just sitting there waiting to make the command center, but he's got plenty of minerals already.
He's focused on his SCV micro.
Right.
Everybody wants to be like Ruff.
Hey, not everybody can be rough.
No. Mothership Core Zealot should be able to take down that engineering bay pretty good.
Okay, so he's going Robo. Excellent.
So normally, you say normally he's a quick economic player, but he went for kind of a timing build.
Who's that? Khan?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because he didn't know that engineering bay was there, so it's not like it didn't look like he was, just doing something because the engineering bay was there. He couldn't do something.
Right. Alright, so we're gonna watch this engineering bay die. Good, canceled it. And what are you gonna build out of your Robo, Oliver? Let's see. Oh, he's getting a Stargate.
Ooh. There comes the Observer out of the
Observer. Okay.
Chrono the Observer. And complete. Take a look at the con. I'll be watching the con and see what he sees.
Excellent.
Actually,
I want to. What is he building? Okay, so he's gonna go for an Oracle Harass.
Oh, this guy's a master. This isn't him playing. This is a master. What he said. Master Protoss on KR.
Really? He just randomly sent us a Masters replay? What?
I don't know what he said.
No, he might be messing with you. Oliver likes to do that.
Trolling Korean.
No, I think he's talking about something else. Alright, so here comes that Oracle. Let's see.
Yep, Robotics Bay.
Aaron has no idea it's coming.
He might be going for that Phoenix Colossus build that has been getting popular lately. Yeah, they open with an Oracle into Phoenix Colossus. I mean, it's strong, but if the Terran goes with a lot of Vikings...
5... Nope. 5, 6... Don't fight that many Marines with an Oracle. Okay.
Oracle gets picked off.
Alright, that was not bad.
Workers.
Yeah, and a lot of lost mining time. Let's look at the worker count. It's currently 31 versus 31. Alright.
See if there's any upgrades completed. We've done any upgrades. 1-1's almost done.
Stint's done. Good. That's not a bad stint timing. Actually, combat shield's almost done. That's pretty quick. But he did sacrifice.
His unit count.
Yep.
He doesn't have a lot of units out there.
His infantry armor. Okay, that's how I got it so fast.
Yeah, early game, I think hit points kind of do help more over an armor. It might be just a preference choice, but I like it better. I like the idea of combat shields first. I like
most of the time, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
There were certain scenarios where the math lined up when it was better to get combat shields, especially against like certain numbers of mutas and weird things like that.
Yeah, because that reducing the hits off that bounce.
Early TBT, but I mean, we don't really see those builds that often anymore. Alright.
Doing a good job of building the pylon and then rallying right back while he's still building it. I notice he's doing that real well with all his buildings. He'll build a building, and then before the building's even thrown down, he's already rallied it back and looking somewhere else.
Yeah, that's very important.
I've just recently started. Well, I didn't really have to do that because I'm Zerg, but my buddy was playing Terran. I was telling him about that. Helped a little bit.
Alright, so Terran is going for a push here. Against 2 Colossi. With thermal lance already, but they're forward, so they're gonna get picked off.
Good force fields.
Yep.
Wrapping them in.
And elevated right on top of the Colossus. He's a little tip though, Terrence. Your units come out one at a time.
Yeah, it's not a drop everything. And a safety cannon was thrown down in case I guess he tried to come over. A panic cannon.
I like how Terran is pressuring. This is good.
There is a proxy scouting factory getting ready.
Proxy scouting factory.
Well, that's really all it can be this late game. 14 minutes.
Alright, we're gonna ×2 past all this.
At least it's not a proxy scouting barracks. Then I'd say it's rough out there, not really tanky. Drop in the main, gets cleaned up rather easily by some stalkers. Simultaneous drop in the natural. Getting a little bit of damage done. It's only killed off 2 workers though.
Yeah, that's
Very
not gonna be worth it.
drop, yeah.
He didn't even drop all his units.
No. And Medevac does get away. A couple couple Marines in it.
Alright.
Third base going down for the Terran for 10k. Throwing down some wheels at it. That proxy scouting factory has been spotted and has gone down.
I'm actually surprised to see Oliver's probe count here. It's only at 40. I know he's gotten a few.
Yeah, he's only got
only
12.
only lost 7.
Yeah, he's only got 12 on his at his natural mine and minerals, and 17 at his main on the minerals.
Yeah, I don't know why your main Nexus Oliver's not making probes too.
Yeah, he's only making them one at a time.
Do you have them all hotkeyed together?
They're both under 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Too late to send in replays, at least for this week.
No, you can send one more in.
Yep, go ahead. We'll do yours as the last one for today's weekly, and then anybody else out there, Roots is going to be our last one for tonight. But please send in replays throughout the week. We need wins and losses, and we'll take a look at them throughout the week, and we'll pick ones that we think would be good to do some instruction on. You want to focus on one race next for this next week?
I don't know. I'll think about that.
Okay.
In the meantime, let's talk about this game a little bit. I'm starting to see what's probably going to happen here.
Okay, so what do you got?
Oliver, I'm surprised to say this, but your macro is way behind on this game. I'm not sure why you were so reluctant to take your third, but it's going to kill you here. Unless he makes a huge mistake. Because Terran is way up in economy at this point. Even against Terran, really, you should be looking at your third between 8 to 10 minutes normally. Unless he's pushing hard, and then it's going to get delayed a little bit, but for it to not even be finished, or just finished at 18 minutes, is too long.
Yeah, and level 2 weapons is completed for Terran, along with stim in combat.
Yeah, I understand this is a crappy map, and he can attack you from many directions, but you still have to take the expansion. And because that's just where the focal point is going to be. He's going to try and kill your third, and you're going to try and defend it. And whoever wins that, obviously, is going to win the game. But if you don't take that third, then you're just automatically going to lose the game. Because he's just going to out-macro you. And let's go ahead and just fast forward and see if that's what happens.
68 SCVs to 50 probes. There's a proxy warping up.
Now, granted, if Oliver gets a few good storms off, it's going to totally change. But look, Terrans are actually pre-splitting. Very nice.
Losses hit off.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it's just too much stuff. And a little bit of harass from Oliver over there in the top, but once that third goes down, yep.
Puts you way, way behind.
And actually, this Terran is pretty damn proactive. He's got sensor towers in both of his bases.
Just looking for that.
Yeah, he does not want to be harassed.
Do sensory towers show you the location of cloak units, even though it won't show you the? Won't show you
I don't believe they're detectors, so they can't.
Well, I know it won't show them, but I wasn't sure if it showed you the little marker on your mini-map that something was there.
No, because they're not detectors. Yeah, that's... Overall, that's all that happened there.
Too late on the third?
Yeah, you took too long to take your third. Don't be afraid to take that third. And unless you're like in the middle of a fight, and obviously your probe's gonna die on the way to the third, don't bother, but you still have to try and get the third down, even though he's going to attack it. You have to defend it. Or else he's just going to get ahead and the game's going to be over.
I mean, one thing, too, is if you're, kind of cheating towards that side of defending that third, that ramp, if he does try and push in at the natural, he's going to be sandwiched, and if you kill all those units off when he's pushing on your natural, you'll be able to push in and take out his third, and you'll be in a good position there also if you sandwich him in after taking him your third, if you can defend it. if he pushes it the natural instead of the
Yeah, and on this map you can knock down those rocks, which will give you a temporary barrier. And another thing, Oliver, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can use 3 gateways, right, like across here, and just completely wall it off to give you time to respond to an attack. I mean, obviously the gates are going to go down from any heavy pressure, but they're cheap and they got a lot of hit points, and they'll give you plenty of time to get your units over there and have a favorable engagement, because he has to attack up the ramp, which
wanna
at
say-
Swiss Protoss, you know, is treacherous.
I want to say I think Tasia was doing that yesterday. He was using pylons, but he was walling everything off.
Well, yeah, because we as Terran, we love to wall off with our supply depots because we can lower them. Alright, so we're going to look at Root Fix versus Major Laser, which is kind of funny because there's a guy named Root Major.
Is there?
Yeah, well, his team is Root and his player name is Major, but
That's funny.
yeah, whatever. Alright.
You chewing ice.
Yes, Mom.
I'm not saying it because you're chewing it. I'm just saying it because you're crunching in our ears.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this whole casting thing is new to me.
Yeah. Yeah, normally you're not supposed to drink or eat or anything. I tend to drink because I talk a lot when I'm doing my casts normally, and I will get cotton mouth like crazy. And
Ooh, ZVZ, this is going to be interesting.
yes.
That actually is not over in 10 minutes. Alright.
Nope, and he says this is going to be a loss for him, so we'll see and try and figure out why it was a loss for him. Bubble Butt.
Well,
That's why it was a loss for you, because of Bubble
yeah,
Butt.
your insult was not scalding enough.
No. You should have thrown out something like, I think it's Monday.
Oh my god.
That tends to troll people. And I think you're going for
Yeah,
Sunday.
with the Monday.
Is it Monday? No, it's Sunday, stupid. I think it's Monday. It feels like a Monday. Yeah, everybody says that's like the standard for submitting a Day 9 daily is you have to at some point say, I think it's Monday. And the other person has to go either, oh, Day 9, or you're an idiot. It's not even close to Monday. It's like Wednesday, dude.
Alright, so pool's down before hatch for red Zerg, and same thing for blue. Okay.
Both was at 14 that they threw it down?
Standard timing, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And laser.
You basically put it down when you can afford it and before the hatch. I don't care if you missed it by one supply or not.
It looks like Root cut some drones there to get his hatchery down a little sooner.
Yeah.
Although he's leading in the drone count.
Alright, 1 gas. Let's look at production.
A couple Zerglings coming out. Spine crawler from Major. And speed just started right at 100 minutes, 100 gas. Pause, I'm gonna be sick. Well, that's not good. I'm feeling better, Root.
There's a lot of damn chat on the screen right now.
Yeah, he's just talking about...
Actually, red is kind of supply blocked.
Yep.
And not making overlords.
Nope.
Game resumed.
He did just spam 10 Zerglings out.
There's some overlords. Alright. And Root, your gas is done first. I like that. A very good idea in ZVZ. Baneling Nest. Excellent.
Do you think
Another very-
ZVZ Baneling Nest is like needed? I really tend not to go for it most of the time.
A Baneling Nest in ZVZ?
Yeah.
Dude, a Baneling Nest is so cheap. And if he's going to be rushing you, I mean, if it's standard play, it's not necessary. But if he's going to be rushing you, which they're going to do in these lower leagues usually,
Yeah.
Baneling Nest is great.
Game resumed.
Going with the triple evolution chamber by Major.
Which is... Now remember, when I say you're going for a Baneling Nest, this is a defensive Baneling Nest. You're not necessarily going for a bust. This is just you have a few Banelings to scare away 20 Zerglings.
Yeah, and then a couple more Zerglings that can morph if you're got the front of his base scouted. You know, by the time you see him leave, they should be completed.
Macro hatch. You know what? I can't believe I didn't notice this earlier, but...
His hatchery's not in the right spot.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that either.
Alright.
Wow. Okay.
Alright, well, so what?
I guess it can reinforce to the front a second quicker.
No, there's no good reason to do that.
I'm just grasping at straws, man.
And I love this. You see how he's got overlords?
I tend to do that in ZVZ.
ZVZ
also.
guys, you gotta do this. You gotta cover the path with overlords. If you're not doing that, start doing it.
Resumed.
It's going to be so late into the match when they can start coming out and picking off overlords that there's no reason not to. There's just no reason not to.
Absolutely. Alright, so you're taking your third route. While he's... I don't know what he's doing.
Here comes some Zerglings streaming across.
He's got 4 Evo chambers.
He just started Zerg, the Carapace research.
Yeah.
Gonna have to cancel this third.
Yeah. Let's see how the Banelings do. Don't lose that queen. Okay.
Baneling said stay away from our woman.
Exactly. That's what they're there for.
And one comes in. Hopefully he doesn't. Yep.
Right. Yeah, you
let
gotta be
that
careful with that.
Yep, here comes another one. Banelings.
Root.
Yeah.
Get your Zerglings in front of your Banelings. Yeah, don't ever leave those Banelings by themselves, especially forward like that.
There you go.
Yeah. At this point. All right. So Jared, I'm being told we can't see the replay anymore.
Yeah, my finger triggered a button. Change scene. Should be coming up any second. There it is.
Okay.
So it should be coming up for them any second. Sorry, I hit a button.
All right. So Billy? Did you see the point where the Banelings were getting picked off one by one?
Alright, hit the B. My bad.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back and point something out.
Game resumed. Paused.
I'm focused here on the Banelings. Especially when you've got the Zerglings, which are back here, don't leave your Banelings out there in the front, because they're gonna get picked off exactly like Major's about to do.
Game resumed.
Because they're just gonna explode as soon as they attack the Zergling, and that's not what you want.
He's lucky he's only losing one at a time. They're not both blowing up simultaneously.
Well, they don't. Banelings don't do friendly fire, so.
No, I just mean like if they both tried to blow up the Zergling at the same time. Can they do that? I don't know. Maybe the AI is smarter than that.
Yeah, the AI is pretty good in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Alright, so we now have 29 drones on the main of Major.
That is quite a lot.
14 drones on the natural.
Jeez, that is some oversaturation.
Alright, so we have a Roach Horn going down.
Third base going up for both players. Hey, now he switched the location of his third.
The Baneling micro, you gotta work on that route. You gotta work on that Baneling micro.
Yeah.
Alright, the route is gonna harass here with some Mutalists, which is great. Because there are well, actually, it's not gonna be that fun because there's a Sport Caller sitting right there.
That is a wall and a half. This is a very paranoid Zerg player. Like Major is ridiculous. Here comes the Muse. Trying to pick up the Roach Horn.
And unfortunately, it's very hard for Root to know which Evo Chamber to kill.
It's a shell game of Evo Chambers.
Yeah, it really is. There goes the Spore Crawlers. Oh, wow. You might hit the right one.
He's attacking his own Evo Chamber. So he's helping.
No, that's good. Very handy.
And he's just going to move out when in doubt.
Okay, and at this point, yeah, you need to attack those roaches.
He's got
No, you gotta attack the roaches. You gotta attack the roaches, man. You gotta attack the roaches. Attack the roaches. Attack the roaches. Okay.
They are beefy.
Yeah, those roaches are gonna do some damage.
Yep, and even the reinforcing Mutas just moved on.
Because unfortunately, because spores are so root, you're not gonna win a base race with mutas. like this, you need to kill those roaches before they screw you up, which they're probably going to do at this point. Well, he's got a fair number of Zerglings. Let's see if he
Yeah,
kills.
but that's a lot of roaches. Well, there you are. The Zerglings are doing some work. And they get cleaned up.
There we go.
They get cleaned up.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, defend it. Those roaches are going to go down pretty quick.
Alright, well, good. That worked out pretty well for you, Root.
Yep. Major Laser is rebuilding that Evo chamber because, of course, he has to have 3 Evo chambers.
I'm actually surprised that Root's gonna lose this at this point.
Yeah.
He's so far ahead. Yeah, you got enough mutas.
And
You're gonna lose several to these spores, but oh well, there's hydras there. Ouch.
he stays in team.
Okay, that was a big mistake.
You losing 1 or 2 mutas is okay, but if you lose your whole pack,
Yeah, don't. If there's more than one spore there, don't take them on. I don't care how many mutas you have.
Yeah.
Just go find another target.
You could have flown around to the backside and attacked, you know, like you were telling me, the right here, there's no spore crawlers. You could have picked off some gas, get some gas
Yeah.
miners, and then been in a good position to go back and forth and, you know, poke at some overseers.
Yeah,
overlords
now
there.
at this point, it's gonna be roots. Well, banelings are good. Banelings are good against hydras.
Yeah.
He's making banelings.
Does he have? Let me check the upgrades. I'd like to see the centrifugal hooks would have been a good upgrade for his banelings.
Oh, that's another thing. Use
Game
Zerg
pause.
players. If you're going to be aggressive with your banelings, you have to get baneling speed. That's absolutely unexcusable. You can defend without baneling speed, but do not attack without baneling speed.
Just started research on it.
Okay.
Game resumed.
Like just as you paused, that research started.
Oh, all right, good.
But still, it's an important point to drive home.
Yeah, well, it's going to
I
take 2
forget
minutes
to do
for
it a lot.
that upgrade to complete.
Yeah, I forget to do it a lot, and I end up at this position where I could attack, but now I can't because I don't have baneling speed yet, and my banelings are just so slow.
Yeah.
Nice engage at the third here.
Okay.
Right on top
Another
of the
thing,
sword.
when you attack with banelings,
Game paused.
always go for the workers. Always go for the workers. Unless you're specifically trying to bust down a wall or something you can't get in, go for the workers. At least send some banelings to the workers.
A couple of good hits will take out the pack of mutalisks or hydralisks, and then you can send them in to clean up the workers or zerglings to pick down.
Well, no. You should. If you got a big batch of banelings, you send most of them to the workers, to the other army.
Yeah.
But you need to send some to the workers.
What I like to do is I just kind of have my army attack. I don't know whether this is good enough. This is what I do. I'm asking you. I have my army kind of attack, and then I just control my banelings. I don't have them like necessarily attack and move. I just continue to move them, and then as units kill them when they're around other units and they blow up, because they blow up when they die and they do damage no matter what. So I just kind of let them blow up near units. I don't necessarily let them attack, and then I just kind of keep moving them around. I micro them while my rest of my army's kind of going.
Okay. I like Root's spending. He's spending pretty good. Oh, now he's starting to bank.
Yeah, but I mean he's
There's-
been low most of the game. There he goes. He was just building.
Yeah.
He was waiting on a big wave there. He's got a
He
lot.
put down his hatch. That's good.
Yep, a lot of banelings. 18 banelings.
18 banelings. Let's see. Major's actually 2-1 upgrades on his hydras.
Oof.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, he's got Zerg flyer armor, but not really too many mutas. That muta count never hits
Okay,
critical
so
mass.
this might be the attack that crushes.
That's a lot of Roach Hydra. 34 roaches, 18 hydralisks.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Not the greatest positioning on those roaches could have been fun. Some baneling hits.
Yeah, absolutely.
There go all the hydras. Oh, all the hydras. All the 3.
Remember the math here. It's going to take you 8 banelings to kill a roach. 8 banelings per roach. So do not, under any circumstances, attack roaches with banelings.
We got all the Hydralisks. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he just burnt all his banelings on those roaches. I see what you're talking about now.
Okay, so let's go back and see why he actually lost. I mean, yeah, there were some micro mistakes, and clearly, the baneling. I don't know if it was the fact that he banelinged the roaches, if that's why he lost. Okay, why? There you are. All right. So here we are, right here. We're at about 20 minutes in, and Red is actually starting to get up in army supply. He's way up in upgrades. This is going to be a huge problem. You need to maintain upgrade parity. It's not the end of the world if he's like on 1-0 and it's earlier in the game, but 20 minutes into the game, you need to be on top of your upgrades.
There's 18 roaches right now and 18 Hydralisks in there.
Yeah, and he's just starting to make an army, and
or 1-2.
I mean, 68 Zerglings. That's not bad.
Wow. Dude, look at Major's third base, where he's got his units sitting. He has 42 workers saturating that base.
Yeah, the man likes to make workers.
Yes, he does.
He's got a macro hatch, which is very nice.
Which we thought was the natural hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so the army's coming in. I'm watching that lead Hydralisk right now.
And right now, his army supply is just too high for Major. And he's going to set up a perfect concave. Here's another trick, guys. If there's a building or a creep tumor you can see or something like that, you can set up a great concave by attacking that building first and then moving your army to attack, a little attack move.
Because they'll already be in that position, that formation.
Yeah, and this is just going to be a slaughter. Yeah, don't attack roaches with banelings. Don't do that.
Like, he's morphing 30 banelings right now. If he would have kept those as Zerglings, you think he'd have been better off in this? You think he might have been able to hold this?
It would have been better, but no. What would have been better right here? Oh, he doesn't have the gas for it, unfortunately. Would have been Mutalisk.
More Mutas.
Yeah, because now that there's no Hydras here.
There's 7 in production right now.
Yeah, but like right now, it's going to take a little bit of time to get across the map, and they're a little more gas expensive. It would either Mutas or Zerglings. I mean, really, you're getting out tech here too. But when your opponent has Roach, you need to kind of go Roach too. All right, so let's break this down. Root, you were ahead in economy, and your creep spread is obviously vastly superior to your opponent's. The problem here is your composition and your use of banelings. If you see a lot of roaches, it's time to stop doing banelings. Unless you're specifically trying to do a specific baneling bust on a building or something like that, you need to transition to something else, whether it's roaches of your own or hydras or something like that, because you're not going to be able to kill roaches with banelings.
No.
And more than likely, I mean, it was kind of really hard to pin down exactly where the failure was here, but I think it was just because of the baneling use against the roaches.
Yeah, especially
not having roaches of your own, because Roach Zergling is just fine against Roach Hydra or whatever. I mean, it'd be better if you had the same number of Hydras, but it's not as bad as trying to kill roaches with banelings.
Yeah, that +2 armor on them also.
Yeah, and then another thing is you got to step in upgrades, because really with what's the armor on those roaches now? Yeah, 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, remember those Zergling attacks are 5 damage. Okay, they're going to be only 3 damage against these 2 roaches, these 2 armored roaches. So those Zerglings have been almost halved in effectiveness because you're behind in upgrades.
Yep.
All right, so upgrades and no banelings against roaches.
No banelings against roaches.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any audience questions before we wrap this up.
Any other, last audience questions before we call it? We've actually managed to make it to 1 hour and 40 minutes on just those few replays. I want to see the ending of this. I'm sorry, I'm just one of those guys. I've got to see the ending of this. While we wait for any questions to come in.
Okay, no, that's a good question. What should you have used to counter instead of 30 banelings. You should have made roaches of your own. And also, I mean, at that point in the game, his upgrades were 2-2 and yours were 0-0, so you were kind of really behind. If you'd stayed up with upgrades, you should have made roaches of your own.
Yeah, and at the very end of the game, by the time the game ended, a couple minutes later, he was at 3-2, and you still were at you were at 1-2 on your flyers. So you weren't upgrade. He had no upgrades on his ground. He upgraded his flyer, defense and attack 2-1, but it was 3-2 on the ground army already for laser.
Right. So I know there's a stream delay.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay. Hopefully we're getting some more questions. 30 baneling worth of gas, a lot more than 6 mutas. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How much does a baneling cost?
Baneling's 25 gas.
25 gas. So that's 4 mutas for...
Right.
Or it's 1 muta for every 4 banelings.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been almost 8 more mutas.
Yeah. And I forgot to repeat. Early in the game, when you were attacking with the mutas, it would have been better to just pick off the roaches on the way to your base. Because early in the game, mutas are a great counter to early roach pushes. But later on in the game, obviously they don't kill the roaches fast enough.
Yeah.
So you got to switch to roaches of your own.
Yeah, I had that problem. I was playing versus, I think it was the 2v2s, and even the Void Rays weren't taking the roaches down quick enough.
Yeah.
It's like, damn you roaches, die! It's the reason they're called roaches, alright? They don't want to die, ever.
Yeah, and they're really cheap.
Yes.
Alright, so I guess if we don't have any other audience questions, if we can get some audience feedback maybe after the show, that would be helpful. What you'd like to see next time?
Yeah, we know that we'll try and work on the stream and stuff and see what I'm having issues with that. It might just be because there's a lot of people at my house right now. Maybe they're chewing up bandwidth by having their devices hooked to my Wi-Fi, so...
Oh, I see.
That's a possibility. That's the only thing I can think of, because every other time we've done this, we've never had a problem with the stream quality.
Are you on Wi-Fi on that computer that's streaming?
No, I'm hardwired in.
Okay.
But if they're chewing up bandwidth, it might slow me down.
Yeah.
So, doesn't look like we're going to have any other questions.
Oh, we got one more question. So if you transition into roaches to counter your opponent's roaches, won't you be behind in upgrades? Yes. And would you lose the encounter? Well, not necessarily, because you've still got your mutas that you're fighting his roaches with. In the beginning, I mean, I'm not talking about 20 minutes into the game where everybody's got a full army and you've cycled through one or two, full armies. But early in the game, when you see the roaches are coming out and you're on top of the roaches, you get your roach warren down, within a few seconds of seeing his roaches, and you start making roaches of your own. And to kind of balance the engagement until your roaches are on parity with his, then it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, especially if you've been watching after your mutas and while you're doing your harass, you're not losing large amounts. That muta count, those mutalisks are just critical mass units. When they get in that high number, they are so much more effective than if you've had to keep rebuilding them also.
But I don't recommend mass muta against Zerg.
Zerg Hydras.
Spore crawlers are just too cheap, too fast to put up, and just too damn effective against mutalisks.
Yeah. What do you think a good number to stop is at? That can still do effective harass, like 12 or something?
Well, 12 is a lot. Really, as long as you can just constantly harass with mutas and just force them to put spores up all over the place and deal with it, run hydras around, deal with, the multitasking aspect of it, because it doesn't take much effort for you to micro your mutas in and out. It's a lot more effort for him, because he's got to go find a drone, find a spot to place it. It's usually in your favor to just do little pokes, but you don't want to commit to mutas in ZVZ.
Okay. It's forcing unnecessary APM out of him. And
I would not go the upgrade route too with mutas.
Yeah, and I noticed that. I mean, sometimes I throw the +1 attack down just for that little bit extra boost on the harass, but I never go full upgrades on air.
Yeah, not until corruptors are coming into the game.
Yeah. You guys do this once a week or question mark? I'm just tuning in. Cookie, we're going to be doing this once a week. This is our second episode, our second installment episode. We did our first interview Friday. This is our second episode of this. We're going to try and do it every week. Send replays to Rob. He'll post the link for his email again. We're going to try and do replays next week. Hopefully we'll get some more throughout the week. And always on Sunday, always at 4 p.m. That is our set time right now. We're going to get that set time. We're going to be doing our show every week, 4 p.m. on Sunday.
I want somebody to demonstrate a build in addition to reviewing replays.
That's a thought. I don't know if I'm the person to do that.
No, we can do it. That's fine. I can definitely walk you through some standard builds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We just do it against the AI or against you or.
Okay. Oh, Alvarona, are there any other effective Zerg builds that work against Zerg besides Mass Muta, Ling Bling Muta?
Roach Infester used to be really popular. That 2-base kind of Roach Infesters, getting those roaches, and then the fungals with a couple of Marines to soak in there. It was a lot of micro, but it used to be really effective. I don't know if it still is.
Infestors are still very good, and people don't seem to realize that they buffed the range again on the Infester.
Fungal?
Yeah, on fungal growth.
Nice.
It's back, or actually it was never 10, but it's up to 10 now.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're actually kind of useful again. I would definitely say if all you're doing is Muta Ling Bling, you should start playing with roaches, especially in ZVZ.
Yes, Scrumsy, Tampa Bay, as in Florida. We are the Tampa area. I live about an hour north, and Shadow, you live right there in pretty much the epicenter, don't you? Right in the middle of Hillsborough County there.
Yep, right next to USF.
Alrighty. No, my buddy Jacob, the one that you were telling about the Zerg, switching over to Zerg. He's just moved in near USF.
Oh, that's cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Albrona. Start playing with roaches. Start teching to higher things like Ultralisk as well, if you can.
Yeah, the good thing about Ultralisks is even though you're teching ground, it really works well into that super late game when you do get Broodlords with the Ultralisks, because those Broodlings are a ground melee attack.
Okay. If you can pull it off, yeah, but it's really going to be hard in a normal game, or at least at a certain level of play where you're going to get both Ultralisks and Broodlords in any significant number. Son of a bitch. Yes, we are.
Is there another Tampa Bay somewhere, like that I don't know about?
I don't know. Is placing too many tech buildings a bad thing? I see this a lot with Zerg, where they want to put down their Hydralisk Den, their Spire, their Roach Warren, and Evo Chambers all at the same time.
And not to mention four Evo Chambers.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not normal, but you need to pick a tech path. When you're on 3 gas bases, you can go multiple tech paths, but when you're in a earlier part of the game, when you're on 3 bases, but you're really only on 2 gas bases at that point, and you're just starting to reach mineral saturation, you don't want to put down all your tech buildings. Pick a path, commit to it, and then once you're in 3-base saturation, the game's stabilized, you're like, okay, it's time to put down a 4th, then you can plop down any building you want.
Yeah, because you really don't have having the gas off 2 bases to sustain building, Mutalisks, Hydralisks, Roaches, whatever you're building, and be getting all those upgrades and tech buildings at the same time. You're not going to have an army if you're doing that.
Right. Exactly. These are good questions.
Yeah,
I wish we'd gotten to some of these earlier.
Yeah.
We have more viewers at the end of the cast than we do in the beginning.
Yeah, we're up to 11 now. We keep gaining. With every question asked, we gain a viewer. It's just like the roaches. Every time someone dies, a roach gets its wings. Every time when the question's asked, we get a viewer.
One last question for Zerg. Is 11 minutes standard for pushing? Or is it different than Terran? God, yes, it's different. But it is going to depend on the build. Obviously, if you're fighting a Terran, there's going to be timing attacks. The early Baneling busts that occur 5-minute-ish, the early Roach pushes, which occur at 7-ish, the later Roach pushes, which are at 10-ish. But if you're not doing a timing attack, no, as Zerg, you are not obligated to push at any time. You just harass and slowly suffocate them.
Yep. I love that. And that's what I love about the Zerg, is that harass and suffocation. Just prevent them from ever taking a third, and you can win a lot of your games.
Yeah, definitely. Raw talent. Alright, well, I think we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we're at 5 minutes and 52 seconds, or 5 minutes. It's 5:52 right now.
Okay.
Wow, I've been staring at the game timer too much.
I know, right?
All right, so is there anything you want to say before I sign us off here, Shadow?
Yeah, if you guys would tune in next week, send your replays in a little bit earlier so I'm not completely curious what's going on.
Yeah.
That might be helpful.
Yeah, and I'll try to get some of my replays. If we don't have, we can check some of those out. But yeah, Shadow, if you want to throw your link down in there again for people to email you. And he's going to be doing, you do a lot of coaching and stuff from this channel, from the Tampa Esports channel, right? When you do streams?
Generally, my coaching is reserved to my own, my team.
Oh, okay, so you don't cast that? Okay.
No, I don't normally cast that, but obviously if it's Tampa Esports, you know.
Yeah,
We
do follow
coach
Tampa
you guys.
Esports. I've been talking with Shadow, and hopefully maybe we can get an online tournament going up where we can cast every game and span it over the course of a couple weeks, almost like a season. See if we can't get something like that going so that we have games to bring on a nightly basis, as well as doing our coaching corner every Sunday, and try and get some more interviews in. We may or may not have Beast coming up next Friday, who came in second place in Masters.
Yeah, Beast. We will be interviewing Beast next Friday, from what I recall from the last conversation I had with him.
So it'll be around 7 p.m. ish. Stay tuned on follow the Tampa Esports on Facebook. Keep tuned in there for all the times and all the updates with any tournaments that we're doing, for any tournaments that are coming up, for any shows that we're doing. The interviews and the coaching corner will be all posted on there. Please follow me at Shinigami TV on Twitch. The link is right there underneath my nameplate there. I do a lot of stream. I stream a lot of times. Sometimes it's just me playing. Sometimes I do some analyzing pro games, and sometimes I'm just playing League of Legends with my two buddies. And listening to us on Skype as we're playing can be rather hilarious.
And one more thing, Root Fix. You said you wanted to do a replay theme, coaching on responding to cheesy timings. That's a commonly asked question. How do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? If you could send in a replay or two where you lost to something like that, I would love to help you with that, because that is one of the most common questions.
Definitely.
And I know Darius wants us to work on a specific build each week, so maybe we'll do that too.
Yeah, we got to build up the that fan base so we can get more people sending in replays, so that we can get people sending in specific focus.
That's fine. It takes time.
Yeah, a little bit of time. This is only our second episode, so not bad for a second episode.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week. Tune in Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels, and stay tuned if anybody misses it. We will be posting the links as we upload them to YouTube shortly here later tonight, and share them with your friends and tell your friends about us and get your friends to like us as well.
Sounds good.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care.